I did invite this person into my home. I did invite this person into my room. I was very open with this person. I said, I don't want to have sex. I'm trying to save myself until I'm married. And it starts happening, and I'm screaming, stop. I'm talking about screaming, stop. Pushing him back, stop. And he didn't. So the same thing that I thought I was attracted to, wow, is the very thing that violated me. When I said stop, he wouldn't stop. And he would like pin me down and keep going and just leave me on the floor and walk out of my room and leave.
I'm so sorry.
That's the first time someone ever said I'm sorry. If I could go back, I would definitely go tell the authorities. I would not spare at all. I wouldn't think about myself or would think about what people might think or not believe me. I would immediately tell the authorities. That's what I wish I would have done.
Hey y'all, hey. I have got Q with me today.
Hi.
Oh, that rhymed. She is the host of Q-Tips, which she's getting ready to start back soon, and I'm super excited about it.
Thank you for that.
So I learned that you a PK.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And there's this saying that PKs are the worst ones.
Ooh, I think that's true.
Is it? Do you think it's true?
In my case, it was.
It was okay. So tell us a little bit. Like, give us a little background.
Well, my father, the late Reverend Wilbert Lee Smooth Jr., he was a pastor of 2 churches in Mississippi, Baptist churches, and my mother was the first lady. He passed away in 2008. So growing up, he was very strict. He did not play any games, but he instilled the word into me and my mom and our family. So he was that rock, that foundation. And there, I didn't have a choice of whether I wanted to go to church or not. It was like, this is what we're doing. There was no choice in the matter. If he said we're going, we're saying okay. It wasn't a question.
Yeah.
Sunday school, we're going. We're there. Bible study, we're there. Revivals, we're there. Like there was singing in the choir, a given. So
why would you say y'all were the worst ones?
Well, I think because I looked at my dad as my covering. Like he was the one. I was a daddy's girl for one. Let's just say that. So I did no wrong. I was spoiled. So I got away with everything. So in the back of my brain as a kid, I can do whatever I want because if somebody else try to chastise me, my dad's not gonna have it. So, but if he see me doing something that was different, but I knew as a kid that I could do whatever I wanted, and nobody else couldn't tell me nothing.
That's interesting.
So
I've never been that kind. I'm like,
I
was scared that they was gonna tell my parents, and I was gonna get beat to sleep.
I was spoiled.
Yeah.
Now he was strict. Now if he saw me doing something, that's one thing. But I kind of had the advantage. Like I can get away with murder, literally. And it's like, I didn't do that, Dad. But I'm not looking at it like, ain't you the preacher's daughter? That's what they'll say all the time. But I was young, very young, very.
So you told me that he passed away.
Yes, in 2008.
And that led to?
My world turning upside down. I didn't know. I think I was 14 or 15 when he passed away. And again, he grew up in a very strict home. He had standards. He had certain things that he just didn't allow his girl to do or even talk about. So, of course, there was a brokenness in my heart because my father, my superhero, the first man I loved, has gone away. But on the flip side of that, it was also like a sense of freedom, if I can be honest. It was like, oh, Dad's not here, so I can sin now. But what is sin really, So my mom, she did what Superwoman would do. You have 2 children, and my husband is gone. So I have to take on the responsibilities that's left here. And she did that. She worked day and night, which gave me the ability to sneak around, do things that I know my parents didn't allow. So it turned my world upside down. I made some terrible decisions along the way. Got into some terrible situations, and I'm just like, I knew if my dad was here, there's no way I would have made this decision. I got addicted to alcohol, addicted to sex, like you name it, I did it. And it was all the things that I knew that my dad was trying to shield me from, if that makes sense. But it's like, he's not here. I had older siblings, but they had their thing going on. I'm the baby of the family, so my older siblings, the one that lived in the house with me, he's 8 years older than I. So he had his own life. And again, my mom took everything on her shoulder, so I could tell her, well, I'm going to so-and-so house, and that's really not where I'm at. You know, so things like that, yeah. But she also had no other choice.
Yeah.
Because she was taking care of business. She was making sure we had a roof over our head. So yeah, when Dad passed, it was like, it was different. It was different for sure, because he was our foundation. He was our rock. Like we like moved at his speed. So when he was gone, it was like, what now?
You think it was just a byproduct of grief?
Yeah, I was young too, so I don't really think I understood death or grief really, because my dad's body was the first dead body I've ever saw. He died in our home.
Wow.
He had cancer, so they prepared us for it, of course, but yeah, and it's crazy. You know, people, I don't think I told you this, but it was people who used to always talk about dreams and seeing things. I knew he was gone because I'm 14 or 15, and I'm sleeping in my room, and he's on hospice in his room, bedridden. And I literally saw my door open, I saw a light, and I saw him. And he bent down and he kissed me. And when I opened my eyes, I saw my brother and my mom trying to wake me up to tell me that he was gone, but I already knew. So they was like going down to wake me up, and I opened my eyes and I pushed him out of the way, and I ran into his room, and there he was. And I was just like beating on his chest like, wake up, why are you leaving? So that was my first experience with death and with grief, and I didn't understand it. Even going back to that moment now, it's like, what was that really? Like, what was it really?
What do you think it was?
I think it was him telling me that he's leaving, or God, in some sense, telling me, okay, the man on earth that you look up to, he's leaving. Because I know what I saw. It's real. I know what I saw.
Yeah.
And I knew I couldn't. It's crazy because I call it a dream, but I think it was a vision. Because again, I was young, but the more I reflect on it and think about it, and even talk about it now, when he walked in the room, I knew he couldn't walk. So in my mind, in the vision or dream, whatever it was, I'm like, how are you walking to me? I can't say it. I can't speak. I can't move or nothing. I'm just looking like, and he's walking toward me. And I'm like, how are you walking toward me? And you are bedridden. And he just bent down and he kissed me. And I woke up. And there's my brother and mom trying to wake me up. So I don't know if it was just grief or being young or just, I don't know. I just think that was God's way of saying he's leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been the hardest thing for you to cope with or process since that moment, since you lost your dad?
That's a wrap on More Than a Mother. I wanted to say thank you so much for everyone who came out. Both nights were filled with laughter, love, and tears. I hope that you walked away not just with a sense of relief, but with tangible practices that you can put into place in order to become your next best self. I created this workbook with you in mind. There are 5 impactful sections that speak directly to who you are and who God has called you to be. If you're struggling in discovering your purpose, if you're constantly asking, God, what is my purpose? You've been fasting, you've been praying, and it doesn't feel like you've figured it out yet. This workbook was specifically designed for you, and I want to put it in your hands.
Like, what would he think about certain things in my life? Like, he was like the sounding board for me, even as a young girl. So I would always, when things happen in my life that are good, or even happen when they're bad, I always think about, I wonder what Dad would think about this. And I can remember a time when a lot of people were saying they were dreaming about my dad or whatever, and I never dreamt about him. I'm like, he never came to me in a dream. The only time he came to me in a dream was tell me when he was gone, you know. So I was kind of upset about that. And I'm like, at this time I was married to my wonderful husband, Kevin. And he finally came to me in a dream, okay? He finally came to me in a dream. And I knew it was a dream because in the, you know, you're coherent in a dream. And I was like, oh, I know this is a dream. He came to me. He was hugging on me and he was kissing on me. He was my dad. He smelled like my dad. We were talking about life at the time. Mind you, he died in 2008, and I'm married at this point. So I'm thinking it's 2016, 2017. And it's the first time since that time that he's come to me in a dream. And I'm like, God, I know this is a dream. So let me just stay right here in this moment for a couple of minutes before I wake up, right? So he allowed that to happen. Girl, I told my husband that. I said, babe, I was excited. I said, babe, my daddy finally came to me in a dream. He had a straight face like, okay? I said, I told him the same thing I just told you. And he immediately was like, no, ma'am. That was not your dad. And this that shifted, I'm sorry. But he was like, no, that was not your dad. Did you listen to what you said in the dream? And he immediately started praying against spirits, familiar spirits and stuff like that could be used by my dad for that particular moment. He was like, we don't communicate with the dead, baby. So I don't know how I let off into that, but that moment, he told me that the enemy uses what's familiar. The enemy uses what we love the most to try to lure us. So I had to think about that, about how much I love my dad. I didn't idolize him. I didn't think I did. But I did love him deeply. But also at that time brought it to perspective like, okay, demons or whatever can come to you in dreams or whatever, or visions or whatever. So I don't know what that first moment, honestly, really was. I think it was, in a way, God's way of saying, he's leaving. And I'm still sitting with that, honestly, because it's been twice that I dreamt about my dad. That time and the time I just shared. And it's still kind of like, what is this, really?
So I'm not going to say that your husband was like dismissive or anything, but how did it make you feel when
I was upset at first. I was very upset at first. Mind you, this is the beginning of our marriage, okay? We'll be going on 10 years of marriage, praise the Lord, in June of this year. So this was like 2016, 2017, maybe the second year of marriage. And I was very offended. Mind you, everybody around me and my family was kind of saying, like, I dreamt about Dad. Like, he came to me in a dream. We were fishing, and we did all kind of things. And I'm upset about this, right? So when he finally did it, and I told him he said what he said, I'm just like, really? I was very offended. And then I had to pray myself. I had to get past that offense because I know my husband means well. He loves me, and he's my covering, and he doesn't do anything intentionally to hurt me. But when he first did that, I was like, really, dude? I'm trying to tell you that my dad...
Just be excited with me.
Just be excited for me for 1 second. Like, just 1 second. I knew it was something when he just gave me that. Okay.
Yeah.
I said, my daddy came to me in a dream, babe. He was like, okay.
Oh.
I'm like, Lord, let me take you back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. To answer your question, I hope I answered the question. I don't know if it was grief or me just not really understanding death at that time at 15. But push forward to 2017, obviously I didn't understand it as well as I think I do now. Anyway, at that time, it took my husband to tell me, certain dreams you don't entertain like that. Yeah, so it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm still.
Is it still like a little bit of a?
No. I'm still kind of like, I would rather not dream about him now, honestly, because I'm good. I'm at peace, and I trusted. Even though I was offended by my husband at that time, I trusted God in him. But I was definitely offended, and I'm just like, come on, man, everything can't be demonic.
Right? These doggone Christians.
I'm like, come
everything
on.
Yes,
I'm like, come on now, everything can't. But the more I grow and read the Bible and, pray myself, and I had, in that moment, I had to pray myself after I got over that offense. I had to pray and think about my words and think about what I said to stay in that moment. And I was like, God, I know this is a dream, but let me just stay asleep for a couple of more minutes just so I can smell them and hold them and all. Nah. So now, no, I don't think, I would rather not dream about the dead, if I'm honest.
So with losing your dad, prior to your husband, did you ever date again? Did you?
Oh, yes. I had terrible situationships.
Okay.
There was only one relationship, I would say, that was a great potential. But I definitely had, I was attracted to the wrong men. I would say that. I was attracted to what I thought I liked. Honestly, I didn't, in my opinion, have the best examples of relationships around me. My mother and my father, they were married for a long period of time, and, I experienced them, but I didn't have a lot of positivity concerning relationships. So I wanted the bad guy. I wanted the bad boys. I wanted the ones that, snatched me up and screamed at me and called me out my name, and I thought that was love.
Not snatched you up.
Yes. And that was something that I was attracted to, because I thought that's just what it's supposed to have been. And no, that's definitely not what it's supposed to be. But again, my dad passed when I was 14 or 15. I can't remember which one it was. I was young. So, and then I had television, and you had, and I'm the baby kind of everybody, so you have your older friends and your older cousins, and you're looking up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't have the best examples of relationships around me in the community I was in, or the school I was at. It's just, I was attracted to what I thought a man supposed to have been. I thought a man was always been strong and I thought it was supposed to be rough, and it's definitely not. And I paid a price.
And what was that?
I definitely was violated sexually. The term is raped, and that is real, and it happened to me. And I try to be. Still now, I try to be sensitive to the person, and I'm not going to call names, but because I'm from a small town. So anything that is said, somebody could probably connect the dots, you know what I'm saying? So I try to be mindful, but that person know who they are.
Now, were you in ministry? Were you involved in church at this time? Okay.
So, and I'm going too fast. I accepted God for real. My senior year going into high school. Okay, for real. I yielded. I was like, I'm done playing games. I'm yielded for real. Yeah, and I still had some issues going on, and sex was one of them.
Okay.
I tried so hard. I was like, I'm not gonna have sex, and I did that for a while until I got with the wrong one. And in this situation, I did invite this person into my home. I did invite this person into my room. However, I was very open with this person. I said, I don't want to, have sex anymore. I'm trying to save myself until I'm married. And they're like, okay. So we in the room, and it starts happening, and I'm screaming, stop. I'm talking about screaming, stop. Pushing him back, stop. And he didn't. So the same thing that I thought I was attracted to, wow, is the very thing that violated me. And that's crazy. I'm realizing that in this moment. So, and and this is my first time saying this openly, but with my young youth at our church, I definitely share this, especially our young girls. I definitely share this part of my testimony with them in depth, because I want them to understand that it doesn't matter how well you know someone. It doesn't matter how sweet they are. Once you open up a certain door, and that doesn't excuse, the person for doing what they did. That's not what I'm saying. I had to take accountability for what I allowed. And it was some doors I shouldn't have opened, It's because I was in God at this time. I knew better. I wasn't a babe, so to speak. So I knew what was going to happen, right? But I didn't know what was going to happen, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew there's a picture we probably gonna end up having sex. But I didn't know, like, when I said stop, he wouldn't stop. And he would, like, pin me down and keep going and just leave me on the floor and walk out of my room, like, and leave.
I'm so sorry. I can't imagine how violated you felt in that moment.
That's the first time someone ever said, I'm sorry. I thought I was a dude. Thank you.
I am sorry. You did not deserve that.
Ooh, girl.
Another guest I had said, you let other people in your house and they didn't do that to you. So it's not your fault.
And my biggest fear was no one not believing me. Right? Because it's someone that they knew I had involvement with. So...
It's like, oh, y'all are dating.
What? Like, come on. Mm-mm. Or you just mad because this person broke up with you. Or you just mad. So I literally had to make myself forget about that moment, or I was going to crash out. That's what they say now. Mm-hmm. I was going to lose my mind.
So did you ever tell anybody?
No. I'm going to tell you about that. I take that back. That same night, I told one person. And at the time, this person, now we have a great relationship. We still have a great relationship now. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm just trying to not to say names or anything like that. Yeah. But we still have a good relationship now. But at the time, we were extremely close. And extremely close. I mean, extremely. And I told this person about it. And I'm glad I did that. But after that, I had to make myself forget about that moment. Because again, I'm in church, active in church. Okay? At this point, they're saying I wasn't preaching then. I think I was preaching then, but not to the magnitude, I wasn't ordained or anything like that. They were just saying, there's a calling on your life. So I'm in the church, mm-hmm. right? And then, so part of me was like, if I come out and say this happened, they're going to know I'm still having sex. Minister.
So then it's the shame,
mm-hmm.
the guilt.
All of that. And again, you let this person in your home. Still not an excuse. Still not an excuse.
So you felt like they were going to blame you.
I felt like I was going to be blamed. It was your fault. So I had to make myself forget about it. And there was a lot of people involved that I loved. You know, it was like, yeah, it was a whole thing. So I made myself forget about that moment until maybe like 10 or 11 years later.
10 years that you were silently dealing with this?
Maybe like 10 years later. Maybe not that long.
But what happened?
So I was in this church service. I'll say 5 to 7 years later.
Okay.
I was in this church service, and a woman of God was preaching, and she said, if you ever been raped or molested, stand up. And mind you, at this time, I had just finished dancing and pouring out, so I'm empty. After you minister in any capacity, you know, you're open. So I'm laying on the floor because I'm full of the Spirit, but I'm tired as well. But I hear her. She said, if you ever been raped or molested, stand up. And girl, my body started standing up, right? And in my brain, I said, girl, why are you standing up? You have never been. And before I could get the sentence out, the situation, it's like it was like slideshows, flashes. And the only thing I remember doing is screaming. And my sister in Christ at the time, after the service was over, she came to me and she explained the situation to me. She said, you screamed, and when you screamed, you went into a fetal position. And it was like you was rebirthing something. And I explained to her what was going on in that moment. And she was so to speak, the next person that I told after that long period of time. And that's when my healing started. It still was a process, right? But that's when it first started.
So you said that's when the healing process started.
Yes.
But I have a question.
Okay.
The very first person you told, because you mentioned y'all are not as close, what was their reaction?
They kind of was like, really? Like, we were young. You know, this person is really close to me. Even we're not as close as we were then, but we're still close now, if that makes sense. But it's due to distance. Like, I moved away. It was a shock. Like, again, because we all knew this person, right?
Did they believe you?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did.
So
but again, I was like, don't tell anyone. You know, it was me that was kind of like, I'm sharing it with you. I immediately, like, called this person over to my house, like, call me immediately. And they came. And I told them, they're just like, it was like a shock.
No, ma'am, I am not that friend. You tell me somebody raped you, we're going to the authorities. Ain't none of that.
I feel you.
We going to tell.
Yeah.
I'm finna snitch.
Same.
I'm snitching.
Same. We were young though.
Was this before or after the guy that you mentioned that you were engaged to?
Oh, this was before.
Okay.
This was before.
So you finally get to a point where you start dating again, and you go with this guy, and you say he's a great guy. You get engaged to him. Tell us a little bit about what helped you kind of heal to the point where you felt safe enough.
I don't think I healed up to his point because I made myself forget about it, right? So I suppressed it. I had to make myself. I didn't really start the healing process till I got, married to Kevin, and I went to that.
So you were married before you started healing. Wow.
Yeah. So when I got to let's slow down. Go back to this guy. So it was suppressed when I was with him, and I kind of wanted to tell him because I thought he was going to eventually be my husband, but something just made me not open up that part to him. Obviously, now I know why, because he's not my husband at the time. So I was like, and I didn't know how he was going to react because, again, we all knew this person. So I wasn't healed from that situation while with that person that I was engaged to before Kevin. It was suppressed.
So if you weren't healed, what made you trust men again?
I think it was because he was the complete opposite
Okay.
of what this guy was, or what I thought I was attracted to. He was definitely not as, I don't want to say strong, but he wasn't the rough type.
Yeah.
He was soft-spoken. He was gentle. So
You went from one end of the spectrum to the complete other.
a complete shift.
Yeah.
And connecting those dots now, it's like, oh, that was a trauma response, kind of. But he was a great guy, and he loved God. He still loves God. Loved God. He was in his word, and he prayed with me. Like, we studied the word together, and I think that is what attracted me even more, because, mind you, at the time, I was trying to stop having sex.
Yeah.
I was trying to be, to the best of my ability, physically, with my flesh, committed to the Lord. And that happened. So meeting somebody who was stronger than I was in the area, he didn't go for sex.
Yeah.
That's another thing that attracted me to him, because it was like he was on fire for the Lord. He was reading his Bible all the time, praying all the time. Like I said, we prayed together. So thinking back on it now, that's what attracted me to him. Because and he was like, no sex, like, we're not doing it. Even when there were times I still wanted to do it, no, like, we're gonna run away. Like, he would like run out of the house and leave, literally. So I think that's what attracted me to him, or be able to trust him.
Yeah.
Because I definitely wasn't healed. I made myself forget.
So after this church service, had you told your husband at this point?
So, no, because I had forgot. No.
Because you had suppressed it. You literally suppressed it to the point where you could not remember.
In the service, when my body started getting up, I'm in my brain, I'm like, girl, sit down. You ain't never been. And so after the service, I immediately went home and I told my husband. And he prayed. I can't remember if I told him a name or not at the time, but he knows who the person is. And we went into prayer. Immediately went into prayer and started washing me with the word, of course. And the next person I had to tell, that I wanted to tell, was my mom.
Yeah.
That's my living parent. She wept. She wept. And the first thing I felt to tell her was, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Parents think because something happens to their child, or any bad decision that we make, that is automatically their fault, and it's not.
Yeah.
But I had to tell her, because I wanted to. She's my person as well. And she wept, and we just held each other, and she asked who it was, didn't tell her. Still not gonna tell her. So yeah. That's how.
Because mama ain't gonna play.
None of my family. I'm not telling any of my family members.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Do you regret not ever saying something, not going to the authorities, not?
Honestly, I do. Because I don't know if that person did it again, So if I could go back, I would definitely go tell the authorities. I would not spare at all. I wouldn't think about myself, or would think about what people might think or not believe me. I would immediately tell the authorities. That's what I wish I would have done, but I didn't have the guts to, honestly, at the time. Because again, you don't know whether that person learned their lesson, or and again, you don't know the other person's perspective, but still, who else has that person could potentially, did they do it to?
Yeah.
Young lady tell you to stop and you don't. And you pin them down and they scream and stop. So
I think the hardest part to really process is after a trauma like that. You mentioned he just left you there on the floor, broken, open, vulnerable.
On the floor. So it made me feel as if you intentionally did that. Like, and you know what you did. Like, and that was the first time that ever happened as well. Like, yeah, it was definitely a very traumatizing moment. And I hate using that word, but it definitely was.
No, I think that
It definitely
that would count as one.
Yes, definitely.
So you mentioned that you mentioned a little bit off camera that your husband is your best friend and you found your safe place where you can be vulnerable. What about him has made you feel safe?
He listens, and it's not listening to respond really. It's just listening to understand and to see what I need. It's not all trying. Some people listen at you to try to give them your perspective, if that makes sense, or what they think. I want you to listen to me. I'm listening to you because I'm ready for you to take what I'm saying. My husband listens to me to try to see what I need, and to try to understand me, really. It's not to tell me I'm wrong or what I did wrong, or that's how I feel safe with him. And again, we're besties, so there's no conversation that we can't touch. And even with that conversation, he's the first person I told because I remembered it. But he was the first person because I knew he had what I needed. And that was literally probably just, he immediately grabbed me. It wasn't like a lot of words. It was grabbing me, holding me, letting me cry, crying with me, and then praying, and then reading the word. So, and he does that today, still to this day. Because he talks too, but I am the talker. I think it's obvious. I am a talker. And he listens very well. And he listens with intent, if I can. So when he does speak, he has something to say. And it's beneficial.
You said he does it even today. So what are some other situations that you've kind of experienced since marriage where he's had to be that same safe place for you?
So we got married in 2015. 2016, a cancerous cell came on my ovaries, and the doctors wanted surgery. So they went in the first time and tried to, they found out that they thought it was cancerous, and then they did more tests and they found out that it wasn't cancerous, but it was still a problem. So they went in with the tube to try to drain it, and 2 weeks later, I got an infection, so they had to cut me open, right, during surgery. So with that, and that was March 23rd, 2016. And in surgery, my husband told me that they pulled him, while I was on the table, that they pulled him to the side and they was telling him I wasn't gonna make it. We need to basically do a hysterectomy or she will not make it. And he had to make an instant decision. And he told me that he told the doctors that you do whatever you need to do to save my wife and her female parts. And later on, he told me because he felt like that wasn't his place. He didn't feel comfortable telling them to give me a hysterectomy. He said he didn't feel like that was his place. But he prayed. He did pray. He said he did pray, and he told them that. And after that, when I woke up after surgery, I was in a daze, really. Remember that movie Get Out? Baby, I was in the sunken place. I was in the sunken place. I can remember seeing the doctor and seeing his mouth move, but I didn't hear anything that came out of his mouth when he said, y'all can't have children. When those words said, he said it, but he said it with intent. He was like, you can try. And again, he had compassion, but he was doing his job. So he wasn't trying to be rude. He was just letting us know. It's a lot of stuff that went on in surgery. Okay, you're messed up on the inside. And it's going to be a complete miracle of God if you can get pregnant. And it's going to be very, 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 and he continued with the varies, hard to get pregnant. So in 2016, we were informed or encouraged to go by way of adoption or something like in that area. So after that, mind you, this is a year-end marriage.
Yeah.
And with 2 surgeries like that, I couldn't physically move. I couldn't physically do anything. I could not perform my wifely duties for well over a year and a half.
Wow.
Okay? So all these emotions going on with me as a woman, so I just got married to my best friend at that. Can't really do my marital duty. Now you're saying I can't bear his children.
Yeah.
So I was in a sunken place for a long time, and it caused me to be angry, sad all the time. Girl, it was bad. And that man, Kevin D. Sanders, the folks know him as Prophet. I know him as Kevin D. Sanders. That man loved me through it. He did not change. He did not waver. He was my friend. He's still my friend. And I tried to push him away. It was many, many times. Y'all supposed to be a thug. Y'all was many fights that I would start on purpose and tell him, leave. I can't have your babies anyway. And how you looking at me right now? He'll just be like, and if you know my husband, he has a blank face anyway. Mm-hmm. He has a natural resting face. And he never wavered. All he would say is, I'm never leaving you. In my angry state, right? And when I come out of my emotions, of course I'll come back and I'll apologize. And I'm thinking, I'm sorry, babe. I'm thinking he gonna, tell me what I did wrong. That man loved me through it.
Never even brought it back up.
No. And what helped, him being that safety, that friend, because we've been friends all of our lives. Him showing me that I love you past your body, or I love you past you being able to carry my children. He told me one time, if I had a choice between you and the child, it'll always be you. That's what he told me. Because a lot of people don't know what we were faced with in surgery, right? And I'm in a place of peace now because, they say I have infertility, okay, due to all of that. And I'm believing God for children. However, if it does not happen, to God be the glory. If it happens, to God be the glory. Mm-hmm. What has sustained me is not only, my husband's love, but God.
Yeah.
That has been my anchor. God, his word. I had to, because you remember I told you I couldn't move physically. I couldn't do nothing that I would normally do for like a couple of months to a year. Honestly, a year and a half. I had to quit my job when I first started back working. I had to quit because I couldn't physically move. But during those times, what I could do was pray. I had my own. I asked him, I said, I need you to make me a prayer room. This room right here that we don't use, I need that room to be just carpet and pillows. So I can go in there, lay in there, and pray. And during my weakest time, that I felt like it was my weakest time, the man upstairs, God, was building me.
Yeah.
I thought I was broken. I thought I thought I was a broken woman.
In spite of all the anger.
Mm-hmm. But I think also in prayer, that's where God was cleaning me away from that anger as well. Like, I need you to see me, not only how your husband see you, but how I see you.
Yeah.
How it doesn't matter about what's happening on the outside. I'm looking at this in your heart.
Yeah.
There's still purpose on the inside of you. Because a lot of women who deal with infertility, they think, they have no purpose in the earth. Mm-hmm. You do. And I think I told you this, but I have a personal ministry called I Did Not Tell. And it's geared towards women who were raped, molested, or deal with infertility, and called a safe place as well, people who deal with miscarriages and all that as well. And I let them know, like, your life has purpose, your life has meaning. I know you want to be a mom with the women with infertility. I know you want to be a mom, but you need to celebrate what you are. I had to do, like, some real self-work, inner work. Like, I give my leaders, of course, I give them the utmost respect. My mentors, my best friends who were there for me during that time, I have a great support system. I do, and I would not be the woman I am today without any of them. Mm-hmm. However, I had to gird up my loins and do the work myself. Yeah. I had to look myself in the mirror and be like, girl, pull yourself together. Mm-hmm. I got tired of being depressed. I got tired of being angry. One day I just got fed up with being fed up. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to live like this. If this is my fate, if this is what God's will for my life, I'm going to be happy. Yeah. I'm not going to walk in defeat. Because we say talking to myself, mm-hmm. You say you trust the Lord, let your will be done. Whatever, I say yes to you, Lord. I sing that all the time, and I pray that all the time. Okay, here it is. Now what?
So I love that you did the work. That you did the work, and that you had people there to support you through everything. Yeah. People that you felt like you could be completely vulnerable and completely honest with. And that mm-hmm. you have now started a ministry. Yes. Through that. Yes. It was I Did Not Tell.
Mm-hmm. I Did Not Tell.
So if you ain't told nobody, go tell them, okay? I'm just a firm believer that you'll always be as sick as your secrets. Yeah. If the enemy can keep it a secret, if he can keep you in your head, no matter what the intrusive thought is, mm-hmm. that you will always struggle. You're either going to be physically sick, mentally, emotionally, something, until you get in community and heal.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. So go tell your business, okay?
Go tell.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming, for sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm trying to make you cry.
Girl, look, take my thug card. Once you come to the couch, baby, the tears gonna flow.
Correct. Yeah. But I want to pray, and I want to pray for those who are still struggling in silence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Father, I thank you so much
for
Hugh.
Thank
you for her honesty and her vulnerability. I thank you for the ministries that you've been able to birth through her. And I pray that you would bless the works of her hands, that she would see the fruit of her labor, even if it's not in the physical form of the child. Father, if it's your will, I pray that you would bless her womb, that you would heal her from the inside out. I pray over her uterine lining, that it would be able to maintain and sustain a life that you will send, if it's according to your will. I pray for those who are struggling, who have been sexually assaulted, raped, molested, whatever the case is, or whatever secret it is that they have, that they are struggling with, that they've not told anybody, Father. They have suffered in silence, and I pray that you would give them a safe place to live.
Yes, Lord.
That you would send people that they can trust with their vulnerability, trust with their heart, trust with their secrets. Give them community, a community that believes in you and that trusts you to be the facilitator to help them heal. I thank you for who you are in all of our lives, and that you'll continue to do the work in us and through us. And it's in Jesus' mighty name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.